Finding an apartment you love is one thing. Location, size, condition, light, views, all the boxes are checked. But what about the building itself? In some ways, the way a building is run can elevate your desire to live there, but conversely, it can also ruin it for you. In this video, I lay out 8 things you need to consider about the building itself before you fall in love with the apartments inside. I'm Lucy, and I have over 20 years experience selling pre-war and post-war co-ops and condos, townhouses, new developments, and multifamily and mixed-use buildings. My contact info is in the description below. Please like and subscribe, and email or text me questions you want answered on this channel. So here's the list. Number 1, building financials. As part of your due diligence, you need to know how well the building is doing financially. How much cash and reserves does the building have to address operating costs and capital improvements? The roof, the boiler, the lobby, the elevators, the hallways, the facade, amongst so many other things. All of these things need maintenance and sometimes even replacement. Does the building have enough to cover these costs when they do? If not, buildings often impose assessments on their owners. Those can get hefty and can last a long time. When you buy, you get a copy of the last 2 years' operating statements where you can specifically see how much is in the operating account, how much is in reserves, how much the building has in debt, and what the building is spending money on. Your attorney also gets access to the meeting minutes of the building. What have they discussed at the past meetings that can give clues as to what's going on and what's on the horizon? These are the things you want to look into. Number 2, subletting policy. In a condo, this is not an issue. You can sublet indefinitely and from day one. But in co-ops, typically you're restricted to 2 years of subletting. So if you decide to move out for a longer period, you may actually be forced to sell or just keep the place as a pied-à-terre. Some co-ops allow you to sublease indefinitely too, but after living there for a year or 2 or sometimes 3. And some co-ops don't allow any subletting at all. You need to know this policy before you buy. A little tip, get a copy of the sublease package to see what the building's requirements are around subleasing and what are the fees if you were to sublease your apartment. This goes for condos too. Number 3, pet policy. This should probably be first on the list. Some buildings allow any and all pets, not a problem. But some actually restrict the number of pets you can move in with, their size and weight, and yes, their breed. And some co-ops interview your dog. I'm not kidding. You bring your dog to the interview with you. So due diligence is a must here. Number 4, gifting, co-purchasing, and guarantor policies. In a condo, this is not an issue. You can even purchase an LLC. So the question as to where the funds come from are between you and the bank if you're using one. But in co-ops, depending on what your financial picture looks like, boards may specifically ask where you got the money for your down payment or the sum total of the funds if you're buying the apartment all cash. Know that if you're getting the down payment, assistance with monthly charges, or any kind of support to get a mortgage from someone else, like family, some buildings will not be okay with that. And in those buildings that are okay with that, they will require more information, specifically about the person helping you. And depending on the situation, the building may even escrow a year or 2 or more of maintenance as a condition of approval. You want to look into this policy before you even start shopping. Number 5, restrictions for international buyers. Some buildings shudder at the prospect of having an owner that has limited credit history in the US. That mixed with the legal aspect of pursuing them if things go wrong, like if they stop paying their building charges or property taxes, makes them higher risk. If you're an international buyer, especially without a green card, you need to dig deeper before viewing properties in a building that just won't work out. Number 6, flip tax. Believe it or not, there was a time in New York City when you could buy, fix, then sell apartments and actually make a quick profit. It's still possible now and again, but the buildings got wise to it and now get a cut through what is commonly known as a flip tax. It's really a transfer fee that goes to the building's coffers and is charged upon each sale. They vary a lot, building to building, and there's a misconception that you only see them in co-ops, but I've seen them in some condos too. If it's 2 or 3%, that's about right. But I've seen as high as 10%, and that's completely outrageous. Sometimes it's pegged to price, sometimes it's pegged to profits. Whatever the case, you gotta read the fine print on this policy before you buy. Number 7, renovation policy. Many buildings have very specific rules about renovating. You'll probably need an architect for anything more than cosmetic. Even for something relatively simple like installing a washer dryer, some buildings may not allow it at all because the building's plumbing just can't handle it. Some buildings have a crazy rule. It's called summer work. This rule is very rare now, but basically it states that you can only renovate during the summer. And if you can't finish your renovation by Labor Day, you need to continue the renovation the following summer. Nuts, seriously. And finally, number 8, pied-à-terre policy. Some buildings only allow you to buy if you intend to live there full time. That can be a damper, especially if you decide later on that you want to split your time between New York and somewhere else. They want you to commit to the community and this community alone. Or maybe they're worried about something else. Want to know more? Drop your New York City real estate questions in the comments. I'd love to answer them for you. And please remember to like and subscribe.